Okay, right. So let's mark number 3 by oefening 4. Now at exercise 4, it just said, if tan x is p, determine tan 2x in terms of p. Okay, dit ons gesê, yesterday we got up until here. No. En ons het gesê, we are going to divide both of those by cos x. No. Which means that over here, okay, maar wacht, daar wil ek eintlik sommer verander. Over here, that cos x will cancel out, so I will only have 2 sin x at the top, but this bottom part, cos 2x, I'm going to change that to cos squared x minus sin squared x. Okay, nou, wat beteken dat daar gaan hy weer gaan uitkanselleer met die cos. So ek gaan hê hier, must I write that dividing step for you guys? Okay, so 2 sin x cos x divided by, and instead of writing cos squared x, I'm going to say cos x cos x. Okay, and then over, so that's the top part of my fraction. The bottom part will be cos squared x minus sin squared x over cos squared x. Is julle reg daar? No. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is this cos and that cos will cancel out. So wat bly bo die lyn oor? 2 sin x over cos x. Okay. Aan die onderkant van my breek. Okay. Nou, en dan gaan dit net gou eers wys en dan delete. Kyk gou, if I put these two together, cos squared x over cos squared x, dit gee vir my 1. Do you guys understand that part? Okay, so at the bottom I will have 1 minus, and I'll have a look, sin squared x over cos squared x will give me tan squared x. Nou, is julle reg met dit? Okay, now die sin x of cos x at the top is also tan x. No, so at the top I will have 2, and tan x is the same as p. So 2p over 1 minus, and tan squared x is p squared. En dis dit. Dit is so ver soos wat jy kon gaan. Okay. Any questions? Okay, now we go to exercise 5. Okay. Oh, hands up, we're still copying? Oh, you can't see, sorry. 1 minus p squared. Okay, by nummer 5 sê hulle vir jou, bewys die volgende identiteite so ver moontlik, deur so ver moontlik die dubbelhoek identiteite te gebruik. So you must use your double angle identities. Hands up, you still copying here? Okay. At the bottom it's 1 minus p squared. Okay, 1.2. Hulle sê vir my 1 minus sin 2x over sin x minus cos x is equal to sin x minus cos x. Okay, so I'm going to work with the left-hand side, die linkerkant, right? So the top part of that equation, 1 minus sine 2x, I can change to, the 1 is the same as cos squared x minus sine squared x, no, okay? Plus sine squared x. Jy gaan nou sien hoekom ek hom so wyd skryf. Right. This sine 2x will become 2 sine x cos x. Okay, so minus 2 sin x cos x. Ja, as jy huiswerk doen. Okay, now you will see that the way that I wrote it, it forms a trinomial. Nee? So, dis hoekom ek hom spesifiek so gaan skryf het. Onder gaan ek hom net eers gehou sin x minus cos x. Okay, so that trinomial at the top, if I factorize that, that is going to give me sin x minus cos x, sin x minus cos x. Moet ek wys hoe ek by hom uitgekom het? Ek hoor. Dankie. Right. So now I've got one term at the top, one term at the bottom. So we cancel it out. So that whole thing with a bracket at the bottom. So my answer is then. Baie belangrike afkondiging, juffrou Nel vra met die volgende twee leerders gaan sal verskoon. Hulle moet nou dadelik na kamer 16 na toe gaan. Juffrou Nel toe, Tristan Eybrings en Loan die September. Gaan na kamer 16 asseblief. Dankie. There is on the page for you. You know why? Is it Ella? You were with them. Why would I? Isn't it? You know who it is. Okay, kan ek maar skip? Kyk hoe vinnig sê sy. Nee, sy weet wie dit is. Can I skip people? Any questions here? Right. 1.5. 1.5, yes. KFM 1.5. Kyk, hy luister op, né? My pa sê, om RSG te luister is net so goed soos om universiteit te gaan. Want jy leer vrek baie. Okay. Right. Right. Okay, so are we working with the left or the right? The left. Left, obviously, nee? Daar's te min aan die regterkant. Okay, so left hand side. Kom okay. Kom. So. Nou sy nou weer kyk. Okay, at the top, the 1 minus cos 2x. I'm going to change the double angle, so it would be 1 minus, en dan die cos 2x gaan ek sê is dieselfde as 1 minus 2 sin kwadraat x. Okay, at the bottom, the sin 2x, I'm going to change to 2 sin x cos x. Good. If I multiply in, this will become 1 minus 1 plus 2 sin squared x. Nee? So 1 minus 1 geef my 0, so dis hoekom ek bo net het 2 sin kwadraat x. Okay, so then one of those signs will cancel out with this sign, and the 2's will cancel out. So I will have sin x over cos x, and that gives me the tan. Right, any questions there? Can I skip? You've got lots of opinions, né? Is jy hier besig met wiskunde? Why? Wie van julle het hierdie gekry? Hoe got dit? Okay. Voel jy nou 'n bietjie beter of nog nie? Wink, wink, oh, glory. Kan ek skip? Okay, so 1.8. Sin x minus cos 2x over sin 2x minus cos x. Oh. Nou dat, die is. Miskien hierdie pen maak dis snaakse goedjies met my. Okay, right, so again I'm going to work with the left hand side. Die linkerkant. Goed, die sin x gaan eers gou net so bly. Then minus cos 2x, I am going to change to 1 minus 2 sin squared x. And at the bottom, daar het ek 2 dubbelhoeke, so die sin 2x gaan ek maak 2 sin x. Sin x cos x. Okay, minus, and then the cos x, oh nee, excuse, dis net mos cos x, dis hier dubbelhoekie nie. So hy bly net cos x. Right, then, at the top, if I multiply n, it becomes minus 1, and then plus 2 sin squared x. And what can I do at the bottom? What do you see? I can take out a cos x. Okay, so as ek cos x uithaal, dan het ek 2 sin x minus 1. Okay? And at the top, kyk gou, if I shuffle that around, kyk gou, I've got 2 sin squared x, then I've got normal sin x, and then I've got minus 1. So think of sin x as just x for now. So that looks like a 2x squared plus x plus x minus 1. Nee? Right, so dit's 'n trinomial, nee, dis 'n 3 term, en jy sou gesê dit gaan wees 2x minus 1 en x plus 1. Nee. Okay, so that is basically, ek gaan nou net so 'n pyltjie trek, dis wat ek hier gaan doen. Okay, right, so at the top, I'm going to have 2 sin x minus 1. Hey, sorry vir die horrel. Sin x plus 1. Weet jy nie nou hoe jy dit reg het nie? Jy het mooi onthou van die 3 term wat ek juist met jou geoefen het. Nou sien, mooi. Okay. Miskien moet ek net hier maak vir jou notaatjie, volgorde, nee? Hy is nie nou daar mooi geshuffle nie. Okay. Okay, then you will see that 2 sin x minus 1, 2 sin x minus 1, so wat bly net oor? Sin x plus 1 op cos x, wat mos nou eintlik is wat die regterkant is. Equal to the right hand side. Okay, so obviously Muren, jy het hom reg gehad, né? Nee, het nog hom gekry. Sien, julle is oulik, julle kom daar, né? We getting there. Jy skit nou na jou kop en sê jy is nie lekker by nie, maar tog kry julle reg, hè? And you? No. Wat is dit? Wat wil jy hê? Wil jy op die verhoog gaan staan en hulle moet jou met die papiertjie op die kop tik? Jy kan by die prysuitdeling iets gaan haal as jy lekker hard werk. Okay, can I skip? Right, 2.1. Okay, now at question 2, wat vra hulle daar vir my? Bewys die volgende identiteite deur saamgestelde en dubbelhoek identiteite. So basically just prove again, but now I can use both compound and the double angles. Okay, so 2.1, we had sine x plus y over cos x cos y, en dis gelyk aan tan x plus tan y. Okay, good. I am going to work with the left-hand side again. Linkerkant. Okay, nou, daai x plus y, is 'n saamgestelde hoek, né? So dit gaan raak sin x Sine stays the same, and then cos x sin y. Julle, dis baie lelik geskryf, ek is jammer. Skryf jy regtig so lelik hè? Okay, over. Kyk gou, I can put it all over one big fraction, né? Maar nou as jy gou gaan kyk na jou noemers, cos x, cos y. Let's break it up and put both of them on that denominator separately. Nee, jy mag mos dit gaan doen. Okay, so. Because then we just see it easier to cancel it out. Cos x, cos y. Cos x, cos y. Okay. Nou gaan jy sien, hierdie cos y, oeps, in die ander kleur. Cos y en cos y kanselleer uit. En cos x cancels out. So I will have left sin x over cos x plus sin y over cos y. And sin over cos, if the angle is the same, will become tan x, and over here tan y. Are we good? Can I skip? Okay. In my stop. There might be someone else also struggling with the same thing. Yes? Say Javier? Because we're proving, we want you to write equal to right hand side. I can't if you say that technically they stop marking over here. Nee? There. Maar jy moet maar nog steeds gaan skryf daai laaste 2 stappies. Okay. Ek is net bang, jong, partykeer is hulle volstrooi oor snaakse goed as ons matriekvraestelle merk. Okay, can I skip? Okay, now we are at 2.4. Hy's 'n lange ook, né? Yeah, like that. Goed. So let's work with the left-hand side. Linkerkant. Okay, ek het saamgestelde hoekies. Nee, so let's change that. So that will become cos 60, cos x, sign changes, en dan sin 60, sin x, mal, and then cos 60 minus x will become cos 60. Ooh. Ah. Cos x. En ek gaan nou maar hieronder moet aangaan, hè. Sin 60 sin x. Ja, sorry, 60, 60, 60. Eintlik maar dieselfde, but still. Okay, nou, kyk net gou-gou. This whole thing, sin, must be multiplied with that whole thing, yes. Good. So kom ons gaan maal gou-gou. Cos 60 is mos dieselfde, I can use my special angles now, né? Is the same as a half. Okay, then cos x stays. Minus sin 60, square root 3 over 2. Sin x, ek gaan dit gaan maal met cos 60, het ons nog steeds 'n half. Cos x plus sin 60 is square root 3 over 2. Sin x. Now, have a look at those two brackets. Can you see that they look exactly the same except for the two signs? No. So they are, that's difference in two squares. No. Okay. Oh, kom jy nou vandaan? Okay, in other words, that is equal to a quarter cos squared x minus then 3 over 4 sin squared x. Ek gaan nou hierso vir jou skryf. Difference in two squares, no? Okay, everyone fine up until there? Good. Now this cos squared x, I can change that to 1 minus sin squared x minus 3/4 sin kwadraat x. Okay, so if I multiply n, it's going to give me a quarter minus a quarter sin squared x minus 3/4 sin squared x. Kom, dis van so sit in chit-chat dat jy nie weet wat aangaan nie. So minus a quarter minus 3/4 will give me, ja man, minus a quarter minus 3/4, geef my, minus 1, nee? So minus 1 sin squared x. And that is equal to, en ek weet julle kan nou weer nie hieronder sien nie, maar die regterkant. You guys good? Because these were, yeah man, these were like terms. Is julle reg? Dit is nog net 2.7, ja. Goed. Kan ek maar skip? Any questions? Right, 2.7. Okay, goed. Let's work with the left-hand side. En ons het gesê, the first step would always be change it to sine and cos. Okay? So that tan x, I'm going to change to sine x over cos x. And the tan y becomes sine y over cos y. No. Okay, so now I've got two fractions, but they haven't got the same denominator, so I can't minus. How can we change that? We make denominator the same. No. So let's make our denominator cos x, cos y. So over here, that sine x, I had to multiply with cos y. No. And the sine y, I had to multiply with cos x. Okay. Now, look at the top. Sine, cos, and cos, sine. No. So that is a compound angle. A compound angle. Do you guys see that? Okay, so that will become sine x minus y. Denominator stays exactly the same, and now it looks like the right hand side. Yeah. Jy kon dit ook gedoen het, ja. Onthou, jy mag mos met links of regs werk. Dis nie te sê jy werk altyd met links nie. Okay. You guys go? Do you want me to do the right-hand side option for you or not? Not necessary. Okay, good. Now, we are at general solution. Algemene oplossing. Wie skryf nog hier? Okay. There is enough. We're only at 27 minutes now. Isn't the period 40? Can I go skip? You're not supposed to get off. You're matric. You get off like almost 4 months of this year. That's what you get off. Algemene oplossing. We can do a lot in 5 minutes. Los vir my, ek is dood happy, so dankie. Okay, so general solution. Jy het ons verlede jaar op general solution gedoen, hè? That's it. Okay, good. So, they're saying that 3 cos x minus 25 plus 2 is equal to 0. So that we're going to manipulate just now. And then they're also saying that x value must be between minus 360 and positive 360. Nou, ek gaan hom nou hier uitvee, nee? Maar hier is mos 0, 90, 180, 270, and then 360. If I go if I go clockwise, sorry, I'm going to have minus 90, minus 180, minus 270, and then minus 360 over here. Nee, okay, maar wat sê hierdie eintlik vir my? What does that tell me? The what? The interval, yes. Maar dit sê ook vir my, jy het nou net gesê, daai waarde van n, ek herinner jou net gegaan verlede jaar, we substitute n at that n value, nee, ons gaan nou by hom kom, maar jy gaan stel ons daarin, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, so jy kan hoekies kry, tot en met 360 grade en so ver terug soos minus 360 grade. Onthou julle nou so bietjie? Nee. Okay. But the first thing, before we can even try and get those angles, I first got to decide in which quadrants we're going to work. Nee? So kom ons werk gou met daai heel eerste stukkie en manipuleer hom somme. So 3 cos x minus 25, and now that plus 2, I'm going to take that to the other side. So now I'm going to make it equal to minus 2. Okay? Now we get rid of this 3. So I'm going to say cos x minus 25 will then be, minus 2 over 3. Okay. Now, that minus tells me which quadrants. Nee, en as jy nou gaan kyk, watter kwadrante gaan kos negatief wees? En 2 en 3. Okay. So dis die kwadrante wat ons gaan gebruik om 'n algemene oplossing te kry. But we also need a little reference angle, jou verwysingshoekie. Okay, so hoe gaan kry ek daai verwysingshoekie? I'm going to say shift, cos, and then, not minus. Onthou, daai minus het ek gebruik net om te weet wat se kwadrant. As ek die verwysingshoekie vat, we do not use that negative. I'm only going to say shift, cos, two over 3. En skryf daar vir jou, do not use the negative. Do not use the sign. Okay, so my verwysingshoekie, kry jy hoeveel? Haal gou jou sakrekenaar uit. Druk daarin. How much? 48,18 wat? 189, so rondom af tot 2 desimaal? 0,19. Ja. Want dit was mos 189, né? Okay, so dan kyk ons na die derde enetjie en omdat hy 9 was, rond ek op daai 8. Okay, so is everyone fine so far? Okay. Now, we're going to work with quadrant 2 first. Kom ek skryf maar sommer in blou. Okay, so ek gaan sê, and that bracket, we do not break it. Ek neem nou, nee, wag, jy mag nie opbreek nie. Ek neem aan, okay, ek sal nou daar begin, maar wat ek wou sê is, you may not take that 25 over yet. We leave that until right at the end. Okay, goed, so ek gaan daar net gou eers stop.